What's going on YouTube? Matt from GarageMC here. While we're waiting for parts for the 465EX build to come in, I'm repairing a quad for a buddy of mine. I wasn't even going to film this thing, but I will show you guys what it looks like before I power wash it. Let me know what you think about this thing. Alright, so like I said guys, I wasn't even going to really film this, but I had already taken the plastics off, and this is where we're at. The steering stem is bent insane. It's probably like, it should be about here, not here. But quad has absolutely no power. I'm about to put a jump box on it. All the tires are bald. It's missing bolts. There's been stuff welded on for the fender stays. The fenders are, I mean, when you get a crack, there's, you know, you can repair it, but when you get to a point like this where they're in multiple pieces and they're supposed to be one, yeah, might be time to, you know, throw in a towel and accept defeat at this point. But anyway, it's got a Yosh pipe on it. It's got a different front bumper on it. But I'm gonna start power washing this thing, and then I'll get back to you guys in a second. All right, guys. So I got this thing power washed. I tried Simple Green. I tried Purple Power on it. What worked the best to get this quad as clean as it is, or as clean as it's gonna be. Check this shit out, guys. This shit here is the motherfucking truth right here from Napa aluminum brightener. I bought 2 gallons of this stuff the other day. If you're gonna go and get it, don't get the spray bottle. Just get the gallon. I think they're like 21 bucks a gallon. But yeah, this shit is worth it. You guys can rewind and look at how dirty this quad was. But check this thing out now. She cleaned up a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's still a complete total piece of shit. But, I mean, if you guys know me so far or anything about me, you know it won't be a piece of shit for long. I will get this fixed for my friend. And, you know, we got to start tearing into it and find out what the problem is. I got to run to the store real quick and pick up a new compression tester, because I don't want to tear it down if it turns out being more than he wants to pay to have done. And then he'll just have a quad that's torn apart. So, I'm going to go to the store, pick up a new compression tester and a couple other little things I need, and I might upgrade the garage and get a sick workbench too. Kind of been wanting one for a while because I have no room. I just got to get a little bit more organized, and then I'll be good to go. See you guys in a little bit. 2004 400EX compression test. Look at all that. Oh yeah, she's making compression like it's so much compression that you can't even read it. Holy shit. Yeah, she's fried. This is a new day now. Yesterday I went and got the compression tester. Put it on the quad. 0 compression, meaning we have a bent valve, 2, maybe 4. And while I take the whole top end apart, we're going to do a new piston and cylinder on it as well. We're going to put the 440 kit on this quad. This is where I'm at with it right now, guys. I got it up in the scissor lift, and by the way, this scissor lift that I bought, I got this on eBay. It was like $120. It is a total piece of shit. I went to move the quad around earlier and tipped it forward a little bit, and the scissor lift, these back wheels, these plates spread open on both sides, let the wheels come out, which let the jack tilt forward. Glad I was here and my 426 wasn't up on this lift, because I would have flipped out. So what I had to do was, I wanted to start doing this about 2 hours ago. I had to cut a plate right here, and I welded that after I banged the metal back to where it was supposed to be. I welded that plate on there, stitch welded a couple times on the bottom and then around each side, and then just sprayed it red so, you know, it looks the way it should, like it came that way. But anyway, let's get to the quad. Like I was saying, this is where I'm at now. I'm going to take the rocker cover off, pull the header off, pull the carb out. I'm going to throw the carb in an ultrasonic cleaner. So let me get set up and we'll start taking this apart together. Stick around. All right, so I took the carb off. The only thing that was holding the carb in the airbox in was nothing more than this hose clamp that's on the carburetor boot that goes to the head. I took that off. I got the carburetor over there. I'm letting whatever fuel's left in it leak out and, you know, drain out. And we'll put that in the ultrasonic cleaner in a minute. I took the exhaust canister off, the silencer. It was nothing but a 12mm bolt holding it to the subframe, and this exhaust clamp that goes to the header. The header itself, there's 4 12mm bolts. Well, 2 of them are studs and 2 of them are bolts on this one. I got those off right now, so pull this thing out. These are usually tricky to get out of here because there's like no room to work. Really, you should take the oil tank out, but they're, you know, you gotta be a little forceful with it, and they do come out eventually. Okay, maybe gingerly is the way, not forcefully. So we got this out here now, and now I'm going to start taking the 8mm bolts out of the rocker cover here. There's a 12mm in the center, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 8mm bolts that hold the rocker cover on. So I'm going to loosen those all up now, and then I'll get you guys your first look inside this engine and see what it looks like. All right, so I took the valve covers off the top of the rocker cover. I'm just never surprised at what I see when I'm taking something apart, guys. Here's how the valve adjustment nuts look like. Ready? So the quad is at top dead center. Okay, they're supposed to be, I believe, off the top of my head, I think it's 5 thousandths. Or 005 and 003 on the exhaust, or vice versa, whatever the hell you want to say. These have absolutely no play whatsoever. They are tight. There's no movement, no nothing. Now, coming over to the exhaust side, what to you looks wrong with this picture here? Check this out. I didn't touch this. This is just how it is. Look. Loose as hell. So, whoever put this motor together, if you're watching this video, do yourself a favor and pawn your tools and spend it on Nintendo or something, because you should never work on a quad ever again. Somebody probably did this just to slap it together and sell it. It probably ran for long enough for somebody to load it in the back of their truck and pay for it. We're probably going to find other damage too. Everything is just caked with RTV sealant. Now, if you're going to build a quad, if you're going to do a top end or something, buy the damn gaskets. They're not that expensive. You know, even if you're doing something to get rid of it, they're like $30 for a set. You can get the whole complete Tusk set, top and bottom. They're like $32 shipped, $35, something like that. Whatever. Let me take the rest of this rocker cover off. I just wanted to show you guys that. It's just amazing. I don't know. All right, so here we are. I got the rocker cover off. The cam chain, the timing chain, the tension on it seems okay. There's a broke bolt in the head here. All the threads are caked with RTV sealant. There was no gasket, so just straight RTV. The center 12mm bolt that goes obviously through the center of the rocker cover was tightened to about 45 foot-pounds. You know, a little excessive. All the 8mm bolts, every other one was like double the torque tightened, almost to the point where probably pulled some of these threads apart, and all the ones in between those, they were like finger tight. So that's where we're at in here. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cam tensioner off, release the pressure on the timing chain, pull the cam out, and then we will pull the head off, which is these 4 Eggcorn nuts. There's one here, one here. Those are both under the cam, and then these 2 here. I'm sure a couple of you guys with a keen eye spotted this. I didn't see it till I just rewatched what I just filmed, but the dowel that goes into this part of the head here that keeps the cam from side to side, or lateral movement side to side, keeps it pinned in there like this one is here. You see that one in there? This one's just chilling, just kicking it right here, you know, just hanging out, taking a little oil bath. Yeah, that's supposed to be in the hole. So now that that's not in there, you can see this cam has all types of lateral play to it. If the kid that owns this couldn't be any luckier than having me take this apart right now, all this stuff could have caused some major damage. along with all these metal shavings that are just chilling everywhere in here. All right, we got the head off, and I just want to give you guys a little heads up. Like, this is my shocked face. Ready? That's my shocked face. Reason why I'm telling you that is the piston in this quad. I don't know if you could see that, what I'm saying, but it's, you know, pretty clearly. This is looks like probably an 11-to-1 piston. It's slightly domed, 10.5, 11-to-1, something like that. Nothing less than that. It's backwards. These are the exhaust valve parts that are machined into the piston. These are the intake. The intake valves are always going to be bigger than the exhaust valves. So we've got this too. The piston is installed backwards. You can see where the valves smacked into the pistons, which is the reason why the valves in the head are bent too. Yeah. So, shocked face. All right, we got the cylinder off. One thing I didn't mention before, there is those two 8mm bolts that go on the side of the head. Usually crack those loose first before you take the 412mm out of the head, or the cylinder itself. And there should usually be two dowel pins on the left side of the quad. One in this hole, one in this hole. There's one. The other one might still be stuck in the cylinder, but let's measure the cylinder real quick and see what size this thing was. Let me see if there's other dowel pins in here. Yep, it's there. All right, so the piston, the cylinder walls don't look bad at all. It's just that everything was installed incorrectly. But let's get a measurement on this real quick. $85 stock bore, so it's still a 400 EX. 85 is stock bore, making it a 400. 86 millimeters is a 416. 88 millimeters is a 426, and 89 millimeters is a 440. So this is a stock piston, or stock size piston. All right, let me finish taking the piston off, and I'll show you guys what parts are going on this quad. All right, so I got the piston off, and another contributing factor to having no compression, I didn't move these. The sow came off. All the piston ring gaps are in the same exact spot. So with this piston being in backwards, they were all at, if you're looking at the piston as in, well, what should be the exhaust side, which is the intake side on this quad. Somebody put it towards the exhaust, hence the smashes into the piston by the valves, and why the pistons are, or the valves are bent. All the ring gaps are all at like 1230. All of them except for maybe the oiler ring. Let me see if I can find where that is. Not that it even matters at this point. There we go. There's the oiler ring gap right there. So let's see, that's at about 7 o'clock. So all of them are at 1230. Oiler ring is about 7 o'clock. So here is the new parts that are going into the quad. We have an 89 millimeter cylinder, making it a 440. 88.95 piston, 10-to-1. Wrist pin clips. We got the gaskets. Here's the piston rings. As far as the head goes, not all the valves are damaged, but you know, if you're gonna replace them, you might as well do them all. So, new intake valves, both exhaust valves, retainers, keepers, dual valve springs, and you know, the gaskets that go to the 89 millimeter kit. All right, guys, this video is getting a little lengthy as it is. I am still trying to work on my analytics, you know, watch time, all that stuff. About a few weeks ago, it was 85 to 90% of everybody that was watching my videos were non-subscribed. Now that's down to 70%, so we're getting there. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to show you how to take the valves out of the head. I took 3 out already. I'll just give you a quick example of how I take it out. And then I'm going to end this video, and tomorrow, since we're at this point here, I will start to reassemble the quad, and we will fire this quad up tomorrow. I'm off work, so you have my word. There will be the part 2 to this coming out tomorrow. But let's get to taking these valves out. Tools I use for that: valve removal tool. These are cheap. You can get them on eBay. Comes with different sizes for different size retainers and valve springs and all that stuff. There's quite a few different pieces in here, but let me show you guys how I take these out, and then we'll do an outro, tell you where we're at, and that's it. All right, so like I said, I have 3 out already. So basically, when you set your tool up, you want to get the right size cup for the valve spring and retainer. Get this seated on here like this, all right? And then on the other side of the head, like where there's an indentation in the valve, you just get that in the center. So when you have that lined up, and you can do this in a vise, you know, obviously wrap the head in a towel. Don't just put the bare aluminum cooling fins into a vise. You know, unless you're the guy that built this quad before, that's probably how you do get down. But just lined up, get it set up hand tight first, and then just start cranking down, and you will notice I crank down on this here, and it doesn't take much. Doesn't take much at all. Just enough to get the keepers free from the retainers. Sorry, it's a little hard to keep the angle right for you guys to see what's going on. There we go. Take a magnet. It sticks to everything else while you're trying to get the keepers. There we go. Got both keepers. Just like that. Then you just slowly back this off. Make sure you keep a good hand on this too. Hold it tight. That's why I just lay a towel down on the floor and do this. All right. Slide that out. You can take your springs and retainer off like this. And then just push the valve. Valve comes out the other side. Now, even though that we are not reusing these valves and springs, retainers, and keepers, I still keep them where I know what's what. All right, so here's the 2 exhaust with the keepers that go to it. Let me put those with it. All right, so obviously left, right, left, right. No, I'm not singing the YG song, but that's what I do. I just keep them organized. If you were to reuse your valves, you would first mark them, like here under the head. Oh, here's another thing I wanted to show you too. Gasket was having some blow by as well. But like here's your intake side with the intake boot. You would mark it like you know, L1, L2, or you know, L1. Or left intake, right intake, left exhaust, right exhaust, and then mark the prospective valves that go to that spot. Especially if you're going to reuse them after you decarbon everything. This thing has some serious carbon buildup on them. Almost looks like if I can get some focus here. Come on, you can do it, phone. Oh, whatever. You guys see what I'm saying. If you want, but I will be decarboning this head. I'll probably put it in the ultrasonic cleaner as well. My ultrasonic cleaner is not that big. I'm gonna order a bigger one, but you know, do like about half, and you know, flip it around, do the other half, and we'll decarbon this and go from there. So we are at a good point right now. Got a good amount done. I got all the new stuff ready to go in. Heads off. I had already put, I ran the cam in here, the cam bearings, you know, some of the, like the decompression spring, you know, all the stuff that would, you know, have any buildup or grease residue, oil, you know, anything like that. The carburetor's already been through there. The reason I put the cam in there, actually, if some of you guys are interested, the way that the cam gets oil and oil through the head and everything like that, on this side where the dowel pin was missing, in the cam here, cam sits in here, you got a double open-ended bearing on the left side of the quad, if you're sitting on it. On the right side of the quad, there's a bearing that has a seal on one side of it. So this port right here, this open port, that goes down through the cylinder all the way down to where the oil pump feeds the engine. And oil gets pumped up this into this little well here. And being that the bearing on this side has a seal on it and the cam is hollow, the oil fills in here, which is why you need a gasket, not RTV. It pumps oil through the cam, and then the cam has holes in it where the cam journals are in the head here, which is here, here, and no, I'm sorry, here and here. You got a bearing here and a bearing here. Those holes, the oil pressure forces oil through the cam, and that's what oils itself. So it's an important thing that you get that stuff right. But tomorrow we're gonna put everything together. Thank you guys for sticking through this video. I know it was a little longer than my normal ones, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to throw me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you like stuff like this, if you're getting any value from this content, or if you're just watching it for straight up entertainment, that's cool too. And I'll see you guys in the garage tomorrow. Have a great night. Peace out.